Okay, let's jump right in. We're doing a deep dive into the essential vocabulary for a 10-day Vipassana meditation course.
Exactly.
We've basically distilled the core terms, these Pali words you hear over and over, to give you a head start, a shortcut, really.
And that's so important because, while the courses say no prior knowledge needed, you're immediately immersed in this specific language.
Mm-hmm.
It all comes from Pali, an ancient Indian language. We're focusing on the tradition of S.N. Goenka, and his teachings are often just called the Dhamma.
The Dhamma, so the path or the
Yeah,
teachings.
Dhamma, the nature of things.
Okay. So our mission here is to break it all down. We've got three foundational phases: preparation, the technique, and then the insight.
Let's start with preparation. It all begins with conduct.
Right, the foundation.
It's a concept called sila, that's Shila. It basically means moral conduct.
And what does that look like? I mean, in practice.
Well, it's a commitment you make on day one, a code of conduct. It's 5 precepts. So abstaining from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct.
Lying, intoxicants, the usual suspects.
Exactly. The idea is to calm the mind down.
Yeah.
You can't do the deep work if your mind is, all agitated. It creates a fertile ground.
Okay, so with that calm foundation, the first actual practice they teach is Anapana, right?
Yes, Anapana.
Yeah.
For the first 3 days, that's all you do.
Just what? Watching your breath.
Just observing the natural breath, in and out. At the entrance of the nostrils, that's it. It's the perfect anchor because it's always there. It's always objective.
And the purpose of that anchor is to build what they call samadhi.
Samadhi. A strong, concentrated mind. You're sharpening the mind like a pencil point. You absolutely need that before you can move on.
So days of prep, building this container, then on day 4, things change.
Day 4 is when they introduce the core technique itself, Vipassana.
Which means insight.
Or seeing things as they really are, not as you want them to be.
And how do you do that?
It gets very meticulous. You start systematically scanning your body head to toe, toe to head.
Yeah.
Just observing any sensation that arises.
Any sensation, like an itch or
An itch, a pain, heat, a subtle tingle, pressure, numbness, anything.
Yeah.
But the key is you don't react. You just observe.
And this is where it gets really, really tough. They introduce abhijnana.
Adhitthana, strong determination.
Tell us about these sits because they sound brutal.
They are challenging.
Yeah.
Starting on day 4, 3 times a day, there's a 1-hour sit where you are not allowed to move at
So
all.
wait, you can't change your posture, you can't open your eyes, you can't even move your hands.
Nothing for the full hour.
Yeah.
And yes, your knee might scream, your back might ache. That physical discomfort becomes the laboratory.
So you're forced to just sit with that pain and observe it instead of immediately shifting.
Precisely. You're training your mind to stop its old habit of automatic reaction. That's the whole game. Non-attachment in real time.
And the result of that training, that non-reactivity, is panya.
Panya, wisdom. But this isn't intellectual wisdom from a book. It's wisdom you discovered directly, experientially.
I see. Okay, so
Yeah.
that leads to the ultimate goal, this state of
Equanimity, the perfectly balanced, non-judgmental, non-reactive mind. You see things as they are, pleasant or unpleasant, and your peace isn't disturbed.
And from that place of balance, you start to see the central truth of the whole practice,
Anicca,
impermanence.
Panicca, the profound first-hand understanding that everything that arises also passes away. Every sensation, every thought, every emotion, it all changes.
Everything. So you don't get attached to the good feelings or frantic about the bad ones?
Because you know deep in your bones that they won't last. And then, on the very last day, they wrap it all up with Metta Bhavana.
Loving kindness meditation.
Metta Bhavana, yes. You take all that peace and purity you've cultivated,
Yeah.
you learn to share it, spreading compassion to all beings.
So we've got the whole path there. Anapana builds the concentration, the samadhi,
Right,
which you need to practice vipassana, the technique,
right.
which ultimately leads to panya, to wisdom and equanimity.
That's the formula, which I think leaves a really powerful question for you, the listener, to consider.
If you truly, deeply internalize that fundamental truth of Anicca, that everything changes, a painful sensation, a difficult emotion, even a joyful moment, how does that knowledge actually shift your perspective from day to day? How does it stop you from getting swept away by life's ups and downs? Because that understanding, that's freedom.